So first we will start with the definition. So the definition in general, it states that SD curve is a relationship between intensity of electrical stimulus and the time taken for the minimal contraction. So if you see the graph, you can find out that here on the y-axis there is intensity and on the x-axis there is time. So it is a relationship between intensity and time, and here our graph is formed. So now we need to understand what exactly intensity is. Now intensity is measured in either voltage or in ampere. Now when we apply such an intensity at the motor point of any muscle, a contraction is obtained. Now while looking for a contraction, we have to make sure that we see a minimal contraction. So usually when we use any electrical stimulator for any cases like Bell's palsy or radial nerve palsy, we give stimulus up to we can see the movement of the muscle. Now here we have to, for plotting the SD curve, we have to find such a minimal contraction. A minimal contraction is such that only slightly visible contraction is seen. We do not need the full movement. We only need a slight visible minimal contraction. Now talking about the other parameter is time. So time or duration refers to the pulse duration of the current. Here you can see the different pulse durations. So for plotting an SD curve, we will require many different pulse durations, like one is 300 milliseconds, 100 milliseconds, 30, 10, 3, 1. So we will take multiple pulse durations in which we will give such an intensity that we see a minimal contraction, and a graph will be plotted. So since we know the definition, the question comes, when should we exactly plot the SD curve? So we know that after any lesion, we learned about this in physiology, that after any lesion, regeneration usually starts after the 21st or 22nd day, and it takes approximately 270 days for the nerve to completely regenerate. So we can start plotting SD curve 10 to 14 days after the lesion has occurred. Now, by plotting the SD curve, we can identify if the nerve is currently undergoing denervation, it is undergoing regeneration, or if the nerve is compressed, that is the neurapraxia. So we can identify the different types of lesions, that is axonotmesis, neuronotmesis, and neurapraxia. So this was all about the definition of the SD curve.